Well, all right. 3 minutes to go. 9 Phaser 9, DT my Silver Squad, Johnny H. Daniel D'Ambrosio. It's not a secret recording. Nope. That's fair change. No, I'm not going to come out of the closet. Howdy, 9 Phaser 9. Denmo, greetings. I'm assuming you have me on the audio. I hope. Southern Metal. What in the wide world of sports is going on? Shell Bell, howdy. Well, it did take me a minute to remember how to do this. I ain't ashamed. Audio good, thank you. That's fair change. That means if anybody else has a problem, it's not me. Yeah. Thank you, Southern Metal. Shannon Smith, greetings. All right. Yeah, you might bounce some questions off me there, Southern Metal. That might be a good thing. Because this one's going to be interesting. All right, 5:59. I have the Emil from Connecticut. Cup of coffee ready to roll. Well, thank you, Shannon Smith. I brushed it all of about 3 minutes ago. Not for the first time today, of course. I mean, come on, that would be weird. All right. Well, it is high upon 6 o'clock, which was the advertised time. Uh-oh. We'll have an incoming call. Who could it be now? You have me.
Soundbite.
Oh, very nice. All right. So I'm just wondering if everybody can hear.
I can hear you.
Sweet, clean, dulcet tones of Southern Metal. It's spam caller. Yep. All right. It's Mikey P now. Oh, they can hear you. Excellent. All right. This will be good. So here's what we're going to do. This, they didn't want to talk about my extended warranty because I'll pay for it and you won't. All right, here's what we're going to do. As you see, we have a very simple screen here. I'm in the middle of a waterfall. I'm getting very wet. Water on wet. So what we're going to do, this marks the official changeover of my channel from all things coins to all things human nature, marriage, relationship, that kind of stuff. I have secured a Zoom phone line that I will attempt to incorporate in future broadcasts. Ideally, if somebody calls in, your picture will appear next to mine so that the peanut gallery assembled can see the whole thing go down. And I will attempt to answer questions To the least of my ability. Or should I say to the best? I don't know. So, with that in mind, let's get rolling. I make this change because I have concerns. And I'll go at it like this as I take a sip. It is pretty much, Shannon Smith, it is pretty much Ask the Baseman. There will be a very specific question time. There will be a monologue of sorts to begin. Be a little bit of question time. And then at the end, oh yes, story time. Where I work during the week to secure the best story for this here assembled group, the Peanut Gallery. This one for this week is a heartwarming tale. You won't want to miss it. That is not a Six Flags mug, sir. This is the 2016 Chicago Cubs World Series champions. Not a six. This is the World Series trophy that is handed out to the champions each season. I know, Mikey P. I know. So, human nature regarding relationships. In my humble opinion, it goes something like this. A good male, that is to say a man, wants to be a provider, take care of his family, work hard, be faithful, all that kind of stuff. Simple, right? A good female assists in that effort. With current financial policy, it is unfortunate, but she may too have to work. And we're going to get into why that is, because it didn't used to be that way. So she has sort of a extended duty, which one can question the benefit to the family of that. Financially, it might be necessary, unless, the husband's a doctor, lawyer, something to that effect. So, everything is cool as long as everybody plays their role. Yeah, Mikey P, in your case, yes. However, what we're seeing today is a marked departure from that. Muscle shell, holy cow, it is your life. So the marked departure goes something as follows. Most men are not given the chance to be providers. There are a series of societal theories. One is, which is known as the 80-20 rule, which is to say that the current theory says that 80% of women are after the top 20% of men. Well, this has various problems. It's not necessarily that I blame the women for this, because it is their nature to be selective. Okay. Mikey's the bottom 30%. Southern metal, that is the theory being proposed as well, that it has possibly changed to a 90-10, maybe a 90% going after the top 10%, something to that effect. In any event, it leads to a number of problems, but that's not the only problem. In the 50s, the decade that is often made fun of, lampooned, treated as irrelevant. What do we have here? Oh, thank you, sir. All right. Yes. In fact, as Southern Metal has pointed out, and I do remember this, I've seen it before, I did not bring it into the mix. Based on data conducted by the U.S. Census Bureau and the NCHS, we have, well, I shouldn't say we, a website has been created called IGotStandardsBro.com. It is also known as the Female Delusion Calculator. Yes. So, let's say a woman is looking for, and this is going to be audience participation time. Let's say a 20-something is looking for a dude between 30 to 45. We are going to exclude married men. Okay? We're going to have any race because, you know, we don't care about such shallow things. Minimum height. Let's say we want someone who is at least 6'2". And we are going to exclude the obese. They have to be fit. Minimum income. Well, you know, no self-respecting female would want anyone who makes less than $200,000. So let's plug that in. All right. So a dude has to meet all these qualifications. Now, we don't know what she looks like, but we know what she's after. So let's find out, as a percentage of males in the Gen Pop, as opposed to administrative segregation, what exact percentage, and I'm going to review this because it's going to be audience participation time. Male age 30 to 45, single, any race, minimum height 6'2", minimum income 200,000. In fact, let's drop that. That's no fun. Let's drop it to 120. There we go, because that's much more realistic. All right. So, would anyone care to make a guess as to what percentage of males meet all of those qualifications? Come on, bring those guesses in. That's for a change says 3%. All right. Mikey P says pick 3, me lord. All right. A little higher than 2% milk. 3% seems to be the running total so far. Anybody want to go higher? Thank you, Southern Metal. I knew you would know. Did you have the same website? Denmo says 5%. I think. Looks like 5%. All right. The actual answer is according to statistical data, the probability that a guy out of the U.S. male population ages 30 to 45 meets your standards is 0.13. Shout out Southern Metal percent. 0.13.
Yeah, that's not 12 plus 1%. It's
No.
less. It's less than 1%.
Yes. Income may depend on region. That's true. Yes, it's not 0.12 plus 1%. It's 0.13%. In other words, that would be 13 out of 1,000. But I'm guessing there are two possibilities here. Either the 90-10 female doesn't know this, or she does and she doesn't care.
No, that's out of 10,000.
It's out of 10,000? Dang it, I can't do math. Math is hard. So I did 100. It is 10,000. 13 out of 10,000. I suck. On dating apps, 80%. Your guess how many? Yep. So what we have here is a lack of reality. All right. So why is this? Well, here's part of the problem. Let's go back to the 50s. More guessing games for the peanut gallery. What was the average age of marriage for a woman in the 50s? And what is it today? That's where change says 19. Mikey P says 17. That's where change. That's where change today says 27. That's where change is on his game. He is very close on both. In the 50s, it was 20.5. A couple years out of high school. Today it is over 28. Yes. Are you, Mike? Yes. All right. So what happens between 20 and 28 today? Well, you're working, obviously. You're supporting yourself as a young female. You're probably going to have, by the time you're 28, if you're some kind of professional, you're going to have a decent income. Okay. They're also very experienced, if you know what I'm saying. Whereas the 20-and-a-half-year-old has not basically had time to have a lot of fun partners, shall we call them. And back then it was societally shaming to do that kind of thing. Today, we have such terms. As Southern Metal has so adeptly pointed out, one of the things that guys have to be concerned about today is body count. In other words, how many fun partners has she had by the time she's 28. Yeah, Spare Change got married at 35, been married for 23 years. Good on ya. What is population difference? Not sure. Women got a taste of their own income during World War II and liked their own check or extra income for them. True. I have to believe that at least some of them were very grateful when the husband got back so that she could resume her normal role back then of mother and housewife. I have to assume that, some of it at least. However, today, I mean, back then, the tax rate was not as devastating as it is today. So I think that's why people have to work. There's also an added incentive that says that basically a woman doesn't need no man and that she can have it all. And as they get older, they find out that's not true. But by the time they get to that point in their life, they might be in their early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. And two things happen. First of all, they think that they are the same individual they were in college as far as attractiveness goes. The other thing that happens is every year, the human factory keeps cranking out 18-year-olds that turn out to be 20-somethings that basically keep pushing the machine along, right? So these 30s types are getting, just kind of like off to the side. We have new models coming in every year. So there's also other trends at work, basically family court. So, meal greetings. I have my coffee right here. So let me discuss a theoretical business proposal with you all and see if you're interested. I'm going to go into business with you. We're going to split everything 50-50. So far, so good, right? And we're going to spin off some subsidiaries, right? Fine print of the contract says, I have the courts in my back pocket. And I can basically, at any time I want, for something as vague as irreconcilable differences or no fault, I can go into a business court, file for a business separation. Great, Scott, greetings. I can file for a business separation, take the subsidiary companies, take half of your stuff, keep my stuff, and be on my merry way without you ever thinking it could happen. You'll just get served papers one day. Now, who wants to go into business with me? Sound like a plan? Alrighty, Mike, that is exactly what it is. At any time, somebody can take the kids, wake up in a bad mood, take the kids, go and file for a divorce. Boom. What's the guy going to do? Hope he doesn't get destroyed financially. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, however. And this one is interesting because what people thought could never happen is starting to happen. There are movements among men. Most notably, it's an acronym called MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. Crafty Dragon, greetings. It also stands for, among the more humorous of the group, Men Guarding Their Own Wallets. And their vow, basically, is that they will have relationships with women, but they will never get married. Never. Yes, that's true, Metal Dragon. And this, of course, is not sitting well with, most females, because either they have a legitimate reason to be upset or they don't. The good ones are like, hey, why are you dragging me into this? And the bad ones are like, where's my meal ticket? So, and I honestly do feel bad for the good ones. But as Karen Strawn, the former feminist turned men's rights advocate, says, it's not that you would do anything to a man in court. It's that you could. Well, now that's interesting, isn't it? When you have former feminists realizing what's going on in society, that kind of stuff. And we have the advent now of what is known as the modern woman, which is to say, the younger set. They insist that any men they date are traditional men. Pay for all the dates, hold the doors open, unless they don't want them to, which is a completely separate thing that also happens. They themselves, however, do not want to be a traditional woman. And the guys are saying, no. Because there's one thing that's been discovered, and that is women control access to sex. Can we agree? Yes. In normal situations. Let's put that out there. Men control access to relationships. And men are starting to turn their backs on modern relationships. They saw what their dads went through in court. They recognized how they were taken from their father. They grew up without their fathers. They don't want any part of that. So they're just, no, I'm good. Thanks. And rightly or wrongly, the good ones are like, what'd I do? Sorry. You know. Well, loosely defined, Crafty Dragon. Loosely defined. It is. I certainly agree. So I guess we are half past the hour. Jesus is going by fast. So that's pretty much it. The thing I think that people never thought would happen is that men are turning their back on relationships because it's not worth the risk. I mean, if you're a dude, first of all, when you're a dude in your 20s, most women are not interested in you unless it is the deep, meaningful overnight relationship. You know, because they're having to have their fun. You know, when they get into their 30s, they're ready to settle down. Or 28. Well, by the time they're 28, I'm going to say they're a conservative estimate is that they've been having partners for at least 10 years. I know, laugh at me all you want because you're like, 10? Maybe half their life. I get it. I'm just trying to be nice. And that's where the concept of body count comes in. Whereas in the 50s, that laughable decade, someone who was getting married at 20 and a half, do you think you had to worry about a body count then? No. There's another phenomenon that goes in. It's actually biological. It's called pair bonding, where one of the first few partners that a woman has, apparently according to this theory, is that they really bond to those first, maybe that first partner, maybe that second partner. And I certainly agree that women have to protect themselves. In what aspect? True, Shell Bell. I'm not asking that. I'm not asking women to put up with that. I mean, we laugh at church, right? Morals, right? This is not a... There's enough fault on both parties to go around, okay? I mean, there is the concept of the kept woman that her husband makes $500,000 to $1 million a year. She lives very comfortably, but he's out sleazing around. And probably signed a prenup where if she divorces him, she gets nothing. I don't care for that. I don't care for his actions. No, Shell Bell, that's not what this is. I'm just pointing out today what's happening among the young women of today. That's all I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not down with that either, Crafty Dragon. Like I'm saying, there are expectations for men and women, right? Like I said before, a woman wants a traditional man, right? Provider, loyal, fidelity, faithfulness, the whole bit. But if you propose that she be a traditional woman, you get laughed out of the room. Lyle Okamoto, greetings. Yeah, I'm not. There's plenty to go around. Okay, I don't want a good woman to hook up with the sleaze. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. So, yeah, this is not about hate. This is about what's happening. So, I'm still staggered by the fact that dudes do not want to get into relationships. I mean, I would have thought that could never happen. And I think that a lot of other people were kind of like me there. So, and it's like what I was saying before with Shell Bell and Crouchy Dragon. There are the good ones who are sort of left behind here because the dudes have done yes. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, whatever a couple agrees upon within limits. And I don't want anything that can happen within a relationship that could lead either party to believe the other party is weak. Yes, Metal Dragon. Yes. Yep. Well, we have no fault now. So you can cheat, file for divorce, no fault, and get your kids. What a deal. And probably alimony. So, like I said before, who's going to enter into that kind of partnership? So, all right, let's open up for question time. Delve deeper into my brain pan. Story time after that. We'll go for about an hour, if that. What's that? That's my iPad. Okay. Crouchy Dragon, you very well could be. I know there are outliers out there. And that's I'm not going to say, well, it is sad. It is unfortunate. I saw a case today. Brett, howdy. I saw a case today where there seems to be a lot of self-deceit going on. And that's not the kind of question I'm doing, Mikey P. Where a woman will divorce her husband. This is an actual case. Woman divorced her husband because she couldn't wait to get out into the dating market. The self-deceit was strong with this one. Two things happened. One, she got no action. She was not who she was 25 years ago. Number two, the husband, the ex-husband, was getting all kinds of play. Why do you think that is? Well, let's think of a chart inside of our brain pans. When a man is young, he is worth basically nothing. because his best days are ahead of him. When a woman is young, she rules the world, basically. Those are her salad days. But she has to have the humility to play it right. So if she can find some dude maybe 10 years older than she is, who's on his way up, and if she wants to help him build, bingo, perfect. Cratchy Dragon, there it is. But see, they don't think they are. They think they are the same as they were 25 years ago. Nope. So, and that's where the woman has to look at the whole picture and be brutally honest with herself and say, if I left, if I filed for divorce, what could happen? Maybe he's going to have the time of his life and I'm not. That doesn't, in this particular case, it never occurred to her. And she was not necessarily upset about her not getting any attention. But she was damned upset that her husband was, her ex. Because that just wasn't fair. Well, who put him in that situation? Do we even think about that kind of stuff? No. No. Cratchy Dragon has a cousin with that delusion. Really? Well, she won't be the first, and she definitely won't be the last. I mean, remember when divorce used to be shamed? I saw an instance the other day where husband and his father are building, husband and wife, a brand new house. And oh, good Lord. Wow. Well, Cratchy Dragon, I'll bet she could have him for a night. Good luck that next morning, though. All they asked of her was, they had left some tools out. They asked her to maybe clean up a little bit, put some of the tools away, because they had worked 12, 14 hours on the house. They were beat, okay? And she had no help at all in the house. I mean, she had not given any help on the house. Well, this, of course, was a major insult to her. So what you do in that situation? Do you discuss it with your husband? Do you discuss it with your father-in-law? No, you put it on TikTok. Because you have to be the star of your own show, and everybody has to know just how brutal your husband and your father-in-law are. Husband saw the TikTok video. Husband is no longer married. Wife does not live in the house that they were building. Stupid. I mean, yeah, she made her point. Congratulations. Here's your prize. Now, Crafty Dragon, how are you going to portray the victim if you don't put it on social media? Because she had a lot of support in the comments. You know, you go girl, all that kind of stuff. Well, the next one was from an apartment. I'm not in the house. I'm not married. Whoopsie. Is her name fancy? I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, basically the thing that's missing is a little bit of humility. Maybe a little introspection. Instead of always trying to maybe do better than your current situation, maybe ask yourself, what the hell's wrong with the situation I'm in? Now, if there is something wrong, get the hell out, right? I mean, I ain't asking a woman to put up with anything regarding the real stuff. Thank you, Crafty Dragon. If your life is so good that you can go to social media and complain about your husband because he asked you to put away something, yeah, you don't have it that bad. So, just saying. All right, well, let's do some story time, shall we? I think we shall. Some of you may have already heard about this, but I'll go on with it anyway. All right. We have a Utah family. 3 kids, all boys. The husband's 39, the wife is 33. Yes, story time, get your popcorn ready. He ran a successful business. She was a real estate agent. And they were in a celebratory mood because she had just made a house sale. So it was happy, happy, joy, joy commission time. She, I'm not going to do any names here, but feel free to interject the word allegedly a lot in here, because you're going to have to, without tipping my hand. So she made hubby a Moscow Mule that he drank while in bed. They later went to sleep. However, she had to get up and attend to one of the boys who was suffering from night terrors. You know how that goes, right? I mean, you go take care of the kid and calm him down and maybe stay in there, that kind of thing. Yes, he drank a Moscow Mule. That ginger beer, man. Right here. It's awesome. I just drink it straight out of the can. There's probably something wrong with me, though. Next morning, of course, husband is dead. Shocking. 39 years old. Husband's dead. Well, the grieving wife gets a great idea. She decides to write a children's book with her children, apparently, called Are You With Me? about the death of a parent. And are you still with us? You're not here, but kind of are you here? And yeah, in a sense that he is, because lots of memories, pictures, that kind of stuff, right? Well, Mikey P would not be the only one. So she wrote that children's book, and actually, she was seen to be, such that turning a negative into a positive type of individual that she appeared on a local television show to promote the book to help other grieving children cope with the loss of one of their parents. Well, now this is cool, right? 1 month later, after appearing on the television show, she was arrested in connection with her husband's murder. Now, come on, some of you had to see this coming, right? So what happened was, she had claimed during the investigation, because, they tend to investigate deaths of an unexplained nature of people who are 39 years old because they just don't happen every day. So during the investigation, she claimed that she left her cell phone plugged in their bedroom while she was with the child suffering from the night terrors. In other words, she didn't touch her phone all night. However, the investigation showed her phone was locked and unlocked multiple times that night, and there was movement on the phone. There were also several messages sent and received during this time window, but those messages were deleted. See, Mikey P, that's what I'm thinking. Now, the couple had a housekeeper, right? And it is believed, allegedly, I'll help you with that, even though I'm not using names here, that the grieving widow was able to secure some street-grade fentanyl and used it in her husband's drink the night he died. The autopsy confirmed that the husband, who did not use drugs, died from an overdose, wait for it, of street-grade fentanyl, having roughly 5 times the amount needed to kill him in his system. Now, was this the first time she tried to kill him? Allegedly, no. They were on some kind of trip in Greece where she gave him, yes, a Moscow Mule. He got sick. He got really sick, but he didn't die. That's how powerful fentanyl is, T. Roy Tiger. You don't mess with it. Brett shovels it. Brett, that's why you're a beast, because you shovel the fentanyl. She at first tried a little bit of hydrocodone, put it in a sandwich. She got hives. Recovered. Theorized to business partner and family that he thought she was trying to poison him. Allegedly. The case is ongoing. Recently, she was denied bail, I think. So the case continues. She took out, allegedly, going to be safe here, 4 different life insurance policies to the tune of $2 million. Cashed it upon his death. They had recently been in an argument about she wanted to buy this multi-million-dollar house and he did not want it. So, the day after he was found deceased, with the promise of life insurance, money in tow, he went and bought the house. Because why wait? Waiting is so impractical. Well, Crafty Dragon, I'm not here to testify on the intelligence of the wife here. Just something she tried. If she wanted him gone that bad, she could have gotten the COVID vaccine. Well, you know. He probably already had it. This happened in 2022. Probably already had it, didn't work. Damn it. Gotta go a little bit harsher here. So there was that. She had tried the street grade fentanyl once before. Didn't work. Got close. Didn't work. So when he was found deceased, it wasn't necessarily a shock to those that he had talked to, which no doubt aided in the official investigation. She was officially charged with murder and possession of a controlled substance, that being the fentanyl, that she allegedly purchased from the housekeeper. Because when you need illicit fentanyl, where are you going to go? Housekeeper. Yes. So, oh yeah. Yeah. I think it was 900 milligrams the first time, and then she bought 900 more for the Moscow Mule. I think it was in a pill form, and she ground it up and poured it into the Moscow Mule, and happy sip sip. So, the trial is ongoing. I changed the names to protect the innocent. Actually, I didn't use any names, which is even better. Get your murder weapon from the help. Yeah, because she wouldn't turn witness, would she? Because now it comes down to, let's see, do I take the fall for my house client, or do I cut a deal for myself? I know. So that is currently ongoing. What she didn't realize is that her husband, being increasingly suspicious, wrote her out of the will and transferred it to a family member. She apparently found out about it and had it transferred back. However, a business partner became aware of that transfer back and had it changed back again. So, well, in this case, Brett, like I say, the court case is ongoing. My guess is that if she cries enough, she'll be given probation. But we will continue to track for the assembled masses here. So, because what are the children going to do without her? A lot better. So, well, Treasure Hog, oh my goodness. Mikey P, unknown. Unknown. But what good uses are there for street grade fentanyl? Does it help your garden grow? I don't know. Treasure Hog, we're just chilling and discussing, rating, debating. Just finished story time. Yes. So, I was just about ready to close up shop, actually, Treasure Hog. We will have Crouchy Dragon, let's just say she's a little bit attractive. And she has lawyers. I'm just saying. This is the human nature coming out here. Fentanyl is a hot button issue, I agree. The sheer amount is a bit shocking. Yeah, a suitable segue. Yes. Can we have a happier story? Maybe. Maybe. Hung jury at best. Ooh, the evidence is strong on this one. Dad's Bear Change. I know that answer, and it will be discussed tomorrow night. And speaking of tomorrow night, guess when band practice got moved to? Tuesday nights. So tonight or tomorrow night, you will be enthralled, entertained with that which is known as a Robo Bassman, and hopefully I will assume my normal place Thursday night. So we can circle back to some coinages. I did make some bids on the auction site I use for Sunday. We shall see how that goes. 2 of my bids have already been exceeded. 2 of mine are still top. And I believe that is an 1883 Carson City Morgan Dollar MS65 deep mirror proof like. I think that's right. And a 1937 Mercury Dime Proof 67. I did have a bid in on a 1955 double die cent MS63 red, but that has since been eclipsed. As well as a 1937 Proof 66 Plus Buffalo Nickel, which is just ridiculous. But that my bid there has also been exceeded. So I'm employing a bit of a new strategy where I'm blanket bidding, and I might focus on the one that I have the best shot at. So, yes. But I will be bringing some good goodies to Tulsa. A 27S Walking Liberty half dollar will be amongst them. Alright, since Southern Metal has said it, I will say it. He did not get the job. I think that's a bit cruel. Well, thank you, Brett. This is not meant to be an indictment, per se. It's meant to be a series of cautionary tales. Yes, men are idiots as well. Yeah, they probably like tofu, Dead Spare Change. What doesn't kill you might... Oh my gosh. Yep. And with a call back from Brett regarding street grade fentanyl. I just can't imagine stringing somebody along like that, turning them down, and then having a good conscience about it. That's cold. That's people suck. And the thing is I think the thing that really bothers me the most is that I actually, Southern Metal told me about this, and I actually found a compassionate bone in my body, which I didn't know I had. And I told him how sorry I was. Not in my behavior, which is also very sorry, but about his situation. So, but that is what it is. I hate it. But he has a wonderful support system known as the Peanut Gallery. So, yes, when the door closes, the window opens. Well, he's an Apple guy, though, so windows won't open. All right, and with that, no more dad jokes. Declare this session to be Histoire. Yep, we're not using Mr. Tasty. We're just buying the shirts. So, well, thank you all for attending my hot sports opinions, that kind of stuff. Eventually, I'd like to grow this thing for enough to take calls. That'd be pretty cool. Or, if I were smart, I would test that out now and just take random calls. That would be pretty cool. You would have to have, well, at first you probably wouldn't. Ideally, the caller would have a webcam, just like I do, and we could see each other and discuss. That'd be pretty cool. So, alrighty, with that I say good night. Thank you, Crafty Dragon. Yeah, well, Dad Spare Change, I could definitely filter the calls. The thing is that with Zoom, you know who's calling. So it would say Mikey P, and I would be like, nope. Alrighty. To all a good night. Until a week from tonight. There's but one thing left to say.